Hi everyone, long time no posting. In this video, we're gonna see how to review reading mistakes. This can be applied to SAT, GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, or any exam that contains a reading section with multiple choice, or could be adapted also to any exam that contains a reading section without multiple choice. Okay, we're gonna start right away. So, how to review your reading mistakes? So, when should we apply this method? Well, we apply it either after doing a practice set, like a practice set of reading, meaning all the questions together, after doing a full practice test, depending on the type of exam you're taking, like any exam, or after doing any reading homework, any meaning, like even if you do just 2 questions, 5 questions, 10 questions of a specific question type, you can still apply this method. This method is very useful if you're taking classes in an academy or with a private tutor or just in school, because you can totally do this on your own, and you can improve a lot by applying this method of reviewing your reading mistakes. Now, things to consider before we apply it: you want to apply this as soon as you have finished correcting your mistakes, because a lot of this implies having to remember what was your state of mind, what were you thinking, what were the reasons that happened or that crossed through your head. And if too long passes between the moment in which you do the homework or do you do the questions and the moment in which you review, you just won't remember. You may think you're remembering, but maybe you're just creating new ideas, new reasonings, right? So you want to do it as soon as you can. And if you do this, if you try to review this after doing a full practice test, meaning after you do, in the case that you take SAT or GMAT, if you do it after doing a full practice test that includes the math section, the quant section, you want to review this one first. If you do it after an exam that doesn't contain a math section, like if you do it after your TOEFL, you do the reading, the listening, the writing, the speaking, you still want to check your reading first, okay? Because any other question, you don't really have to remember exactly what went on through your head. Okay. So, an important thing, even if you're better at reading, let's say you're taking your GMAT and you are definitely better at reading, so you think you have to review your math first because you want to improve your math. Well, this is something I tell my students, but remember, you don't necessarily want to improve the thing that you're worse at. Okay, remember, your goal is to get the score, like your goal score, and sometimes by whatever means that implies. Okay, so what we're looking for here, we're looking to understand why the alternative that we chose was wrong. We want to understand why the other alternatives are wrong. The alternatives are not the answers, of course, and we want to understand why the right answer is right. This is basically all we're doing. We're just trying to understand these 3 things. If you can understand these 3 things, you can avoid making mistakes in the future, and you're going to improve your reading scores. Now, how do we do this? How do we understand this? Well, this is the method that we apply. This is going to be a very short video, by the way, but this is the method that we apply. So what we do is, like, after we finish the practice set, after we finish the 5 questions, the 2 questions, even the 1 question that we're practicing on, we go to each of those questions, okay, and we're going to answer a list of questions. While we answer this list of questions, we're going to write down the answers on our notebook. Okay, you want to write down the answer in your note. You don't just want to answer the question in your head and then forget about it, because you want to see whether there's a pattern following you, and you want to have evidence so you can check afterwards, so you can improve. I mean, you cannot improve on something if you cannot see there's something that you need to improve on, right? So you want to create this evidence of the type of mistakes you're making or the type of reasoning mistakes you're making. Okay, so this is all we're going to do. We're going to go to the question. Let's say I have question 3 wrong, and we're going to take the most common, like having 4 alternatives, sorry. So we have A, B, C, D. Let's say we chose B, and let's say B is wrong. So what we do is we go to alternative B, which was our answer, but it was wrong. And we start by asking ourselves, why did I choose that alternative? Now, this is why you want to do this as soon as you finish your question, because you really want to try to remember what was going through your head, what was your reasoning process, what led you to choose this alternative. Even if it was process of elimination, maybe you did it by process of elimination, you eliminated the other ones. Maybe you thought it sounded correct. Maybe you can find the keywords and you can put, oh, because I found this and that keyword. You want to know exactly what went through your head. Then the second question is, why is it not the answer? Like, because you know it's not the answer because you got this one wrong. So the second question is, okay, I know what went through my head. Now let's see, why is this objectively not the answer? You can use process of elimination. You can check the answer sheet. You can check the answer explanation depending on the exam that you're taking. But you want to understand why is it not the answer, and you want to write that down. You want to write down what makes this not the answer. Then we go to the next question, which is, why are the other alternatives not the answer? So after checking our answer, we know this one is not the answer. Let's say the right answer, the correct answer is actually D, right? Which means it's not A and not C. So in the third question, what we do is we check the reasons why it's not A and the reasons why it's not C. Most of the reasons may be process of elimination, but we still want to make it obvious. We want to make it, we want to write it down. We want to make it completely 100% clear the reasons why it's not the other alternatives. Then we go to the fourth question, which is looking for the right answer and seeing, okay, now why is the correct answer in this case, in my imaginary case? D, why is the correct alternative the right answer? In this case, we try to match with the text depending on the question type, but we try to really understand and write down what makes the answer the answer. And after we do that, we go to the last question. Okay, now that I make it clear, now that I understood why the right answer is the right answer, just try to remember that why didn't I choose that one? Why did I eliminate it if I was doing process of elimination? Why did I just overlooked it if I was just considering all the alternatives? Like, what went through my head? What was my reasoning process that led me to not choose the right answer? And you write that down. And after you do that, you repeat. You go to the next question and the next question, and every single question that you got wrong, and you try to answer all these questions. As I told you, you want to write down the answers. You want to have evidence of what was going on through your head to see if there's a pattern, to also look back on your mistakes. There are many reasons why you want to write things down, and you want to write like with pen and paper. You really want to write things down because that's going to help improve your score. Okay, that was pretty much it. Now, extra things to consider is that try not to take too long in reviewing these questions. Like at the beginning, maybe you can take even 10 minutes in one question, which is completely fine, completely okay. But in general, you don't want to take more than 3 minutes, meaning like 3 minutes should be enough to answer all these questions. Okay. And if you take more than 3 minutes, it means like you just should just let it go. Okay, you should let it go because it's a bit of a waste of time, like to spend too much time. Of course, you don't want to let go everything. What I mean by letting go is like, if I don't remember why I chose it, okay, never mind. I skip to the next question. Whatever question takes me too long to remember or to analyze, I just skip to the next one. Okay, something is better than nothing. Okay, and finally, don't try to argue about why your answer was the correct answer, especially if you're dealing with official material, whatever exam you're taking, if you're doing official practice tests or you're using an official book, the right answer is the right answer. Okay, so don't waste time trying to say, no, 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 they are wrong, I am right. Okay, this one, of course, has exceptions. Sometimes when you deal with unofficial material, yes, editorials make mistakes. So, yes, there will be cases in which your answer was actually the right answer, but that's why I'm making the precision that with official material, the right answer is always the right answer. So, do not try to waste time thinking about how they are all wrong and you're right. Just use your time smartly and just go and check why you were wrong. Well, this is pretty much it. Okay, hope this was useful for you. Remember, I will leave a link to the material, to the PDF of this video. Well, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, and see you on the next video. Bye.